What would happen if a supervillain actually won the day? In this list we take a look at some supervillain plots where they actually came pretty close, and some where they actually succeeded. Today we count down the top 10 best laid plans of DC supervillains. But before we start, I want to know, who is your favorite DC supervillain? Do you love them for who they are or what they've accomplished or set out to accomplish? Let me know in the comments below. I really love a lot of the Batman villains, Poison Ivy, Bane, the Joker, Harley, but I feel like that might be because Batman is also one of my favorite heroes. Alright friends, let's get counting. Number 10. Spoiler alert, it was Darkseid all along. This plot was a brilliant one because it took Darkseid's supervillain profile to new heights. He had been seen as a menace to be reckoned with before this, but this was when people really took notice of him. And supervillainy aside, it was also heralded as one of the best Legion of Superheroes plots ever written. All these servants, who we find out later are clones, are popping up and creating chaos for our heroes, who have no idea what is going on. As they are trying to stop the army of clones' evil antics, it is revealed that the mastermind behind it all is none other than Darkseid himself. Dun dun dun! While on Daxam, he controls an army of 3 billion. When the Legion comes to fight him, however, he loses control of the Daxamites, and it is only because he cannot beat back the 3 billion that made up his army that he even surrenders. Number 9. EOBARD THAWNE torments the Flash. In Flash Rebirth, Professor EOBARD Zoom THAWNE of the 25th century, also known as Reverse Flash, uses the negative speed force to torment Barry Allen. The thing to understand here is that without the Flash, Professor Zoom would not have his own powers. So unfortunately for him, he can't actually use the negative speed force to travel back in time and kill Barry, or it would cause him to not be born. But that doesn't stop him from traveling back in time and killing Barry's mom. You might be thinking, what would be the point of that if it doesn't allow you to defeat your enemy? Well, THAWNE simply wants to torment Barry, and he is successful in that. He causes a slew of unfortunate events to happen in Barry's life as a result of his time travel. Still, one of the worst being the murder of his mom, and making his father look guilty of the crime. This comic not only changed Barry Allen's life, but also the whole DC universe, as it was the event that incited the Flashpoint event, that reset the DC universe and brought about the New 52 reboot. Talk about a plot. Number 8. Batman destroys the Justice League? Just kidding. Ra's al Ghul defeats the Justice League. Well, with Batman's help. In JLA Tower of Babel, it is revealed that Batman has a contingency plan. Files on all the Justice League members that include blueprints involving how to defeat them should they turn evil. Unfortunately, his security system surrounding his personal files in the Batcave turns out to not be quite as infallible as he thought, as Ra's al Ghul is able to hack in and get access to all Batman's brilliant plans on how to defeat the Justice League members. Once he incapacitates each of the members and successfully distracts Batman, Ra's al Ghul puts his diabolical plan in motion to spark a war between 2 nations. Once the team is revived, Batman explains the situation to his understandably irritated teammates and apologizes, so they can band together to once more save the day. Still, a pretty good plan though. Number 7. Lex Luthor for president. One of Lex Luthor's dastardly plots involved him getting elected as president. But who would vote for such a villain? Well, maybe unsurprisingly, a lot of people. Granted, Luthor built his campaign promises around technological advancement and the elimination of fossil fuels. He also helped to basically rebuild Gotham City after it was hit by a devastating earthquake. Although while president, he was able to also set many diabolical plans in motion. He was eventually taken down by BFF duo Batman and Superman after the Batman released a tape where President Luthor could be heard admitting to involvement in an arms deal with Darkseid. That, in the combination of his losing his own company to Wayne Enterprises, which pretty much left him bankrupt and with no option but to step down from office. Thus ends the reign of a tyrant. Number 6. Harley catches Batman. In the Batman animated series episode Mad Love, Harley vies for the Joker's attention. When she realizes he is too distracted by Batman to focus on her, and seeing Batman as the blockade in the way of her and the Joker finding love and happiness together, she decides to kill him. Batman, that is. The best part is she easily lures Batman into a trap with a pleading phone call, deceiving him by claiming she needs help and that the Joker has gone too far this time, begging him to meet with her. Well, he walks right into Harley's trap. Unfortunately, he plays on her insecurities, claiming that unless the Joker sees her do it, he would never believe she was capable of killing him. When Harley returns with the Joker, he is unhappy about her actions, and he attempts to kill her, tossing her out a window to her doom. Fortunately, Harley survives and decides she and the Joker are through. For a while anyways. Number 5. The Joker creates Two-Face. In the Dark Knight film saga, the Nolan brothers version of the Joker creates a perfectly diabolical plot to destroy Gotham, by destroying those who seek to save it. Heath Ledger's Joker brings madness and chaos to the world of Harvey Dent, and helps him to transform into Two-Face. Nay, inspires him. Not only this, but later on he causes Batman to be condemned as a villain. Everything this story does with the Joker is insanely well thought out. He becomes the literal embodiment of chaos. Number 4. Sinestro loses. On purpose. That's right, in the Sinestro Corp War storyline, Sinestro goes on a suicide mission. He builds an army and takes on every Green Lantern in existence. Of course, he loses, but he later reveals that this was all part of the plan. He wasn't aiming to win, although he probably would have been cool with that if it happened. All he wanted to do was prove that the Green Lanterns would need to use lethal force. Having that sanctioned as acceptable as a result of the war meant that fear would spread, and that he had won. Number 3. Bane makes Batman sleepy. Famous for his micro naps and near invincibility in a fight, it's hard to keep in mind that Batman doesn't really have superpowers. He's just a normal guy. Well, I mean, a normal rich guy who has mommy and daddy issues and dresses up like a bat every night to fight criminals, so relatively normal? Still, it always seems in the comics that the masked vigilante and skilled detective can handle whatever comes his way. That is until the events of Nightfall, wherein Bane frees all of the maximum security inmates from Arkham Asylum, who unfortunately has never seemed to be great at exploring rehabilitation tactics when it comes to criminals. Batman is forced to try and round up all the criminals, leaving him exhausted by the time Bane comes a-knockin'. Bane ends up breaking Batman's back over his knee and taking control of Gotham, forcing Jean-Paul Valley to step in as a replacement Batman while he heals. Number 2. The Joker kills Robin! Although this was kind of an off-the-cuff plan, it left a huge mark on Batman's psyche. After a falling out with Jason Todd causes him and Bruce to go separate ways, Batman is tracking the Joker to Lebanon, where the Joker is planning on doing some arms dealing. While there, Batman is reunited with Jason Todd, who is attempting to track down his mother. The two foil the Joker's plot together and get back on good terms. Jason continues the search for his birth mother, who he ends up locating in Ethiopia. She is blackmailed by the Joker and as a result hands over Jason to him, and the Joker tortures and kills both Jason and her mother before Batman can arrive to save them. Broken as a result of Jason's death, Batman blames himself and refuses, for a time, to not take on any new sidekicks. And the Joker actually becomes a member of the Iranian government, and even after leaving Batman a clue as to where to find him, sorta just gets away with the murder of Jason. Oddly enough, the storyline that this plot belongs to, titled A Death in the Family, was quite controversial at the time, as DC actually gave readers the opportunity to vote for whether Jason Todd would live or die as a result of the story, by calling in and casting votes. So who's the real villain here? Number 1. Anti-Monitor destroys the multiverse. What's the antimatter with the DC multiverse? Why, Anti-Monitor, of course. The storyline of Crises on Infinite Earths involves multiple DC universes, time travel, and antimatter, as well as the deaths of some of your favorite superheroes, including Barry Allen's Flash and Supergirl. In this story, Anti-Monitor, who is the villainous version of Monitor, who tracks and maintains all the different universes within the DC multiverse, uses antimatter to go around and destroy all of the different worlds it can find. When it is thwarted in its attempt to destroy all worlds, Anti-Monitor travels back in time to try and prevent the multiverse from ever existing. United by the Spectre, the heroes of the DC multiverse also travel back in time to stop Anti-Monitor. Fortunately, they manage to save the day. However, the events of this plot still once again set events in motion that led to a DC Universe reboot. Time travel has a way of making everything reset, I guess? Well friends, that was our list. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up, tap that subscribe, turn on that bell notification, comment, and give it a little share. Why not? My name is Amanda McKnight, this has been Top 10 Nerd, and as always, I'd like to remind you to just keep staying nerdy, YouTube.